Here we are again, rapidly, I guess because it's the summertime, getting another episode of the Freelance Teacher videocast. TFT University, I like the ring that has. I like the sound of it. My fellow Mavericks we should get together and make this a little more robust. That would be some intellectual firepower there. But let's continue to discuss censorship to some degree. Let me turn that down. And what's been going on of late. It's important, and I think it is also vital that you see in these interesting times what is going on, what is happening, and how the normies react. I really like that term, the normies, because you and I and our friends and our immediate circle of friends, and the fact that we listen to these types of things and pay attention to what the normies call radical extreme thought or conspiracy theory, that's not normal. So as we get more censorship, and that's why I entitled this More Censorship, the normies, because they were told by an authority, like to them an authority is CNN or MSNBC or ABC News, that they were told that censoring somebody like Alex Jones is okay, then they believe it. That's what they believe. Then it's bad. And I had this experience on the cesspool and ludicrosity universe that is Facebook, in that I put up a BitChute link to Alex Jones being banned on YouTube. But BitChute, BITCHUTE, is one of these open source kind of multi-user supported video options, in the same way that Pirate Bay and the other torrent sites work. BitChute is based on that. I put up a link to that and said, let me put this up here. I mentioned this last time. And, the excuse making that you get from the normies is, it's sad almost. It makes somebody like me angry to some degree. Like, how can you not have any principles in being okay with this? And, one of the analogies was, well, if someone's poisoning the water, at some point I'm going to stop it. Which is a fake analogy. And it's the normie way of saying, 15 years ago, if somebody or a corporation wanted to censor somebody with whom I agree, I would scream from the hilltops about it, in the way that the original left still does. There are people who are saying censorship is wrong, and while I disagree with Alex Jones and his whole deal, I don't think censorship and the fact that our speech is going to be determined by the heads of multinational corporations, that's not okay. And so, on my post on Facebook, you had the normies coming out and being like, yeah, I'm not going to let someone poison the well. And, people are angry, and people are fighting, and they're angry. And if someone's poisoning the water supply, I'm going to stop it. Well, if that's the case, then you're 20 years too late, because Jones has been doing this thing for a long time. Hell, there's even an interview with Alex Jones and the legend Bill Cooper. It's probably gone now because they scrubbed Jones from the site, but Cooper was more dangerous and more reputable and more calm about his research. But anyway, before I get too far off topic, the reaction to the censorship is really what you see here with this censorship maneuvering from the large communications platforms. Stefan Molyneux had his YouTube channel one strike away from disappearing. Very little to no outrage from, again, I'm a high school English teacher, so there's my circle of friends, doesn't know who Molyneux is, has never heard anything that he does, and doesn't care that somebody like him would be silenced. Why? Again, the fallacy ad verecundium, because an authority tells them that it's okay. And the authority in this case is a corporation. iTunes, YouTube, Google, these kinds of things, Spotify. They are saying, ABC News is saying, these are extremist, weirdo, conspiracy theorist loons, and they should be silenced because they are, quote unquote, hurting our democracy. Now, fascinating point. The old guard left. Chris Hedges. And I looked this up today. Chris Hedges, the people at Black Agenda Report, Michael Tracy, Glenn Greenwald. There's a woman on Twitter whose name escapes me. I really should have written it down, but she's new to me. Mike Cernovich actually recommended her as a legitimate liberal voice. These people are not only speaking out against the censorship, they're getting attacked by the normies, right? The herd. I called them the herd. Anytime you'll see me in print, I'll refer to the vast herds of sheeple, right? Chris Hedges, Michael Tracy, these are real liberals. The people at Black Agenda Report were targeted by the prop or not fiasco joke that was one of these shots across the bow at people who would dare come across with a different message than the neoliberal, neoconservative, pro-war faction that rules over you. Right? The corporations that have ruled over the American government easily since the founding of the Fed. I'll put it to 1898 with the Spanish-American War. They don't like an anti-war message or independent thinkers in any way. They really don't. So when somebody like Glenn Greenwald or the people who promote WikiLeaks and Julian Assange's operation, when they get an audience, they get attacked. Well, they're going to go after those people again. And because they simply aren't following the script. And so you have the normies who, in effect, and remember the thing I had a couple weeks ago where your resistance is not resistance. It's not. When you're against Trump, who was not supposed to win, guy's got his flaws. I despise and deplore his continuation of the warfare state. And I don't apologize for him like you apologize for Obama and his continuation of the warfare state. I'm not apologizing for Donald Trump. Not in a million years. Bring the troops home. End the warfare state, President Trump. Yeah, he'll listen to that. I'm sure he's going to, get right on that. But, if you go against that, you get slandered. And then now they're not even trying to convince the normies that they shouldn't listen to alternate voices. They are censoring and shutting them down. And the real people, the people who are not normies, who have principles, are not okay with it. Very small comment on my Facebook page. A guy I went to high school with. One line comment. It was like a punch. Said, I don't like Alex Jones, but this is probably unconstitutional. And I tip my hat to that person because that's somebody with principles. That's somebody who gets it. That's somebody who says, look, I am not okay with this message that this person is putting out there. But the heavy-handedness of corporate censorship and, let's face it, civil rights, free speech, that person is not having it. That's somebody with standards. You don't have to agree with everything that everybody says, but you can have principles and standards. Look, Chris Hedges is a socialist. The people at Black Agenda Report are even harder core socialists. I disagree with Noam Chomsky on practically everything economic because I think he has the economic skill of a sixth grader. But his grasp of what the media is all about is perfect. See how easy that was? And I'm a small, no-government, libertarian, conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat-wearing weirdo. But Chomsky is right about the media. Michael Tracy is right about this Russia foolishness that that passes for criticism of Donald Trump these days. And you know who else has that same Russia opinion? That you've been told that this Russia thing is legit. The people at Black Agenda Report, hardcore socialists, right? I think their economics are ridiculous, but they see through the head fake that is this Russia foolishness. And that memo released by David Brock on how to preserve democracy, it got leaked in January of 2017, early January 2017, before Trump even took office. Before he had done anything. And that memo says we're going to pressure social media outlets and channels, and we're going to pressure people in government who do not follow what we tell them to do. And we're going to fight outrage fatigue. That's their term. We're going to fight outrage fatigue. And we're going to push anti-Trump stuff. We're going to pressure government officials who aren't sufficiently anti-Trump. And we're going to push for impeachment. Now, this memo got leaked in early 2017. Put leaked David Brock memo into Google and see what comes up. How are you going to push impeachment and Donald Trump hadn't even taken office yet? Now, you may despise the man. Okay. All right. But even a normie has to wonder, wait a minute. And look who Brock is. Do a little digging for a change. Look to see who his boyfriend was. A normie will see the logic and be like, oh man, that's uncomfortable news. And then after that, I don't know what's happening. So head explodes, I'm not sure. Maybe they come around and see the light. But we have in our midst true believers who, no matter what you tell them, nope. Trump's bad, Democrats are good, I'm a progressive, Russia, hack the election, racist. That's it. They're parrots. They're not real people. Citicism is the word you're looking for, where you just parrot what you're told by an authority. Now, when I was younger, and the younger people who listen to this probably get angry, like a non-normie young person. And I see this at work. And I'm in the bad neighborhood school, and I'm in a place where these young black men and women, they have no power. They've been written off by the New World Order, by the neoliberal, neoconservative corporate government that rules over them. But they get angry, right? I went over the Gary Webb stuff I've told you before, and they saw corporate media for what it was. And so now they, without my help, draw the link between what corporate media is doing today and who they're maligning and slandering and now censoring, and what they had done to Gary Webb in the mid to late 1990s. So the key is you are allowed to have principles. You do not have to follow the crowd, is the short lesson of today. You can and should have some principles. And you're allowed to change your mind about things. You're allowed to think things that the corporate media and people you see as authorities, that the things that they say maybe deserve to be looked into. And it should repel you when so-called educated adults refuse to even think about something like corporate censorship. I'm not talking about government censorship. The United States federal government is not censoring you. As crazy as that sounds, Donald Trump isn't shutting you down. The FCC isn't coming after these people. It's the corporations who are doing it. How do you not see that? Now, everyone I know, practically, under 17, under 22, the young people see it. But the normies don't. Which means that you need to do what I had told you is a good idea before. Create a circle of people who are like-minded and can see what's going on without an authority forcing them into an intellectual cage. That's it.